So what do you do? What do you do when you feel unsure? Well, you stop. And I know that's counterintuitive. It's a lot of it is, well, we got to double down. We got to do this. We recognize all the things that are waiting for us in our moment of stress. And that's cool. Take it all and set it aside. Because here's the deal. Until we stop and set everything aside and say, hey, here's who I am right now. Here's the amount of energy I have right now. Here's what I'm trying to accomplish right now. Here's what my past self actually wanted me to do versus whether I can do it. And then, I got this. Let's go. Let's go. I think it's incredibly important because, look, I just did it. I just did it. What did I want to say? How many thoughts did I have that I wanted to come out? And then I was like, oh, wait, too many things at once. Who am I right now? What am I trying to be right now? What is the amount of energy I can bring? And tap into that to bring it. I just did that for you. So you saw it in real time. It could be that little. It could be a few minutes long. Whatever matters to you is what will happen. Trust the movement of the body. Give your body time to breathe. And it sounds weird from a business perspective. It sounds weird from a how do I show up in the world perspective. But hey, we can't show up in the world until we know who we are. And guess what? Who we are at the core may be the same, but who we are in this moment is different. I mean, maybe you just stepped on a Lego on the way out of the house. Maybe you went to the library. Somebody stepped out in front of you unexpectedly and all your books fall. In my case this morning, you can't see it, but I was drinking some awesome beet juice and I dripped it down the front of my sweater. Okay, so then what, right? So I have two choices in any of those moments. Only one of them happened to me today was the beet juice. Well, can I fix it right now? Do I have to change my clothes? And how am I going to let it impact what I say to you? How am I going to let it impact what I'm going to say to you? So I cleaned it up. You might even see a little bit of it, whatever. What matters is I'm cleaned up enough. I'm here and I want to tell you, just stop and pause. Bring your whole self together. And you know, you're already prepared. You can tap into your own preparedness. What you did yesterday, what you did last week, the goals that you had, whether you achieved them or not doesn't matter. You made a goal. The steps and the actions are what matter. That consistency and the commitment to yourself, to your goals, the people who have hitched their missions to yours, you're all working together. So regardless of what's going on out in the world, regardless of your impact, the way it is impacting you today, tomorrow, the next day, tap into what you already have worked on. You are prepared. You're more prepared than you thought. The fact you thought about it and you wrote it down, better than a lot of people out there. So keep doing that. Then what actions are you taking to go toward it? And what actions are you not taking, which might take you toward it, but most likely is going to keep you neutral or move you in the other direction. And so just to be aware, stay committed to being prepared and just know today may be real tough. Tomorrow may be real tough. It may be incredibly stressful and all those things might happen at once. A whole bunch of other stuff might happen at once to you, and that's okay. Pause, breathe, because what you do today is setting up tomorrow. What you do today is your preparedness for your future self. So keep that in mind too. What you've already done helps you today, and you've got to keep going. And I say you've got to. Well, you don't have to, but hey, you're either in or you're out on this topic. And if you're still watching, you are in. So claim it. I am in. I'm going to help my future self today, and I'm not going to put it off because my future self needs me. My goals tomorrow need me. Where I'm trying to go in this world needs me. Who I'm trying to help need me. And more importantly, maybe even want me. How cool is that? I'm looking for you out there. I'm looking for you out there. So this is what we're talking about for the next step, right? Take the next step. I know what I've done today. I know what I did yesterday. So what I do today helps my tomorrow. And maybe it's as small as getting up, getting dressed, and breathing. Maybe it's as big as all of those, and laugh at the Lego that you step on, try really hard not to spill food on yourself, show up to a meeting and take an extra second to where am I and who am I right now and what energy do I get to bring? What was my goal for setting up this meeting? What is their goal for having this meeting with me? What kind of connection can I make here so that I can determine the work is in or the work is out, which helps me for the next step and the next step. One step at a time, regardless of how you look at it. And we need a network to do this with, right? So keeping those meetings keeps us connected. But more important to that is who can you call? If you're having a really hard moment, I hope you have somebody like I do, or my clients have me, to be able to pick up the phone and go, I really don't understand what's going on right now. This is overwhelming. And I'll tell you, and this is what I do, and this is what I get told by my core network. Breathe. Hey, we've already talked about that. Then I would say, okay, so what's actually going on? Okay, what's urgent? Okay, what do you feel is getting in the way? Okay, what do you think? Yeah, that's the right thing to do. Let's go. You have the steps. You have what it takes if you have the right network. So if you need some extra inspiration, go to what I call the rah-rah groups. By the way, I have those. I love them. I go, I'm inspired, I network, I see what amazing things other people are doing, and then I go back out into the world and I bring whatever energy I can from that with me to be inspired to solve the problems I'm working on and to make the difference I want to make. I might also participate in a mastermind. Those work just as good as anything else, but they can become a distraction. When you have a problem that you don't think is worthy, by the way, of your mastermind group, guess what? You try and come up with one. Well, how does that help you with your goals? How does that help your past self that worked so hard to get you right here? So consider masterminds carefully. And here's the bigger scoop. We have somebody, hopefully, that we can call if we got a flat tire on our way somewhere that we needed to go. We have somebody, hopefully, that if we have some crazy stuff going on at work and we're not going to be able to get home, that we could call and say, hey, could you get my, DoorDash isn't going to work for me today. Can you go to the grocery store when you go and get me this, this, and this? You know what? We need to have that connection. Technology is great. Connectedness is better. Using technology to stay connected is great. So who can you call? Because, by the way, I'm talking about going to the grocery store and I'm talking about being picked up from a flat tire. If we don't have people we can call for that, there's nobody we can call when we feel like this. So let's start where it is. How do we live our lives and who do we have available to us? Those are important people. We need different perspectives. We need people with different experiences that we can call for other things in our lives. How do I work with this difficult client? What do I do when our mission isn't changing, but the way we're working is? What is, whatever's going on, I don't know how I'm going to get my cash flow going so that I can make payroll on Friday. Whatever the case is that is showing up, you need to have people that you can call with that expertise. Because I'll tell you what, the person I'm going to call to help me if I have a flat tire and I can't wait for AAA to get there to help me, is not going to be the person that I call when I am facing a very big decision within my business and I have to choose this or this. And everybody has a place, and I get to have more relationships. I get to be connected with more people. I get to tap into a network that cares, that works together with all kinds of different perspectives. And I did it on purpose. And that's actually one thing I hope that you remember most. Regardless of how you are feeling today after the election, we all have our goals. We all have our struggles. And I want to be connected to my network regardless of what those are. To be supportive in any way that I can, to understand what I might not understand, to help others understand when they're curious about wanting to hear different as well. And I think that that's a really big thing, because all we can do is know the course that we're on and chart it. We've charted our course and now we show up to it. So how do we navigate each step? How do we navigate each day? How do we navigate who we are and being more clear about when we're away from the essence of who we are and we're starting to experience dissonance or frustration because who we are hasn't changed, but the way we're showing up in the world is. And that's a good clue for us too, to stop, pause. Who are we? Yes, we know. What are we bringing from the past? Yes, we know. How did our past self help us right now? And how much energy do I have to actually be here right now? So we've talked about a lot of different things, and I will tell you, it feels overwhelming. And I will tell you, sometimes a checklist is great. I can also tell you from experience, in my personal workflow, that checklist is the first thing to go when I am in high stress situations. So whatever you take away from this, take this away. You've got your actionable steps. You've got your energy management piece. You've got your way that you can show up, because it all comes down to one thing. That one thing, which is stop. Where am I right now? How much energy do I have? And what can I bring to the table to make the most impact today? In all truthfulness for yourself, in all honesty and integrity for the work that you want to do and the people that you want to connect with. Maybe this resonated with you. I hope it did. Tell me how. Tell me how. Just type in the comments. Let's have a conversation. And maybe you know somebody that would benefit from this information as well. Maybe you've said it and they haven't listened and you need another voice. Maybe it's something you're like, oh, I understand, and this person is actually going through that right now. Excellent. Please pass this along to them too and invite them to join the conversation, because it's only by talking about it to recognize we're not alone. We've never met. I hope we do someday. There's good that can be done in this world, and I want to meet the people that are making a difference like you.